Hello, race fans. Welcome to another episode of Short Track Guys Podcast, brought to you by ShortTrackExclusives.com. I am your host, Thomas Battis, alongside two other short track guys in the studio, Jim Pokrant, driver of the 07 Can'tQuitFishing.com sportsman and 2021 sportsman champion here locally at Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida, and Ted Baber. Ted Baber Video Productions, also locally here in the short track world at Pensacola at Five Flag Speedway.
Yes.
What's up, guys?
It's a great night.
Good evening, sir.
It is. We've got a lot to cover, and we've got some exciting news coming off the episode of last week with Grant Enfinger. We really appreciate that. We're going to go back a little bit and touch on some of the stuff that we had covered in the last episode. But we're going to talk about the Sportsman opener and the Sportsman progress with that Can'tQuitFishing.com sportsman, Jim.
Well, she's sitting on jack stands, about set on kill. I just bled the brakes last night. We practiced and found that we didn't have the best of brakes, so we decided to go with a different master cylinder, and man, that pedal feels good. So we got that squared away. Bled the brakes. Let's see what else. Got her all pretty too. Got some nice red skied skirts and got the number put on it. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's going to be flat black and red like she was last year, but a little different.
Black Mamba.
Yeah. And we found a rub on the right rear tire that I don't like, so we're going to try to space the right rear out with some washers. That's all we can do right now till the officials make a decision. Got to do something because tire rub means tires pop, and I'm not wrecking my new race car over that. So, but we're ready. And this Saturday night at Five Flag Speedway, we're racing. There's a doubleheader, so Friday night will be. I think my buddy Ben Cranford's going to run. There's a chance that I might climb in his car. We don't know yet. We'll see. And Saturday night I'll be in mine. And come on out and give us a look and have some fun at Five Flag Speedway. And cheer for that Can'tQuitFishing.com, all pools, premier window tinting, Ted Baber video production, Short Track Guys podcast.
Yep.
Tech Master in Fort Walton Beach sportsman.
Well, I mean, you did go through practice. You said, I think you had a couple of runs out there and you're kind of comfortable with the car. And what is that new asphalt, that new configuration in the track in the front straightaway had anything to do with that, or it doesn't really matter?
I don't think it matters because it's not really the transition I thought would be a problem, but it's not. I mean, unless you're like totally blowing the tires off the car sideways and you catch that new asphalt, it could cause you a problem. We saw that with ARCA qualifying.
Right. That was bad.
But they're a different tire. I mean, they run on a general tire. It's a total different deal than what we have. I didn't experience any problems with that. I mean, the car was hauling butt. Them new tires make all the difference. And wider tires make that thing grip. So we're going to find out how good it really is here next Saturday night. Hopefully we'll grab the pole. I know the track record's going to fall because we were running like 2030s, 2040s on old tires, and that's a full second faster than what we normally run on old tires. So a new set of grips on that thing and let it eat, and who knows, man, we might be in the 19s. I think the track record eventually, before the end of the year, will fall to a 1980.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to separate that too because the Sportsman's got the 7-inch tires now, like 8-inch tires. So, I mean, the track record really doesn't compare to the two because actually it's a different car now.
It doesn't, but it'll still be the new track record in the Sportsman division, and I would love to be the guy that takes it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that along with the Blizzard Twin 100s, which we're going to get into in just a second because there's a lot on the line Friday and Saturday night with these Twin 100s. Oh, yeah. Along with you and your sportsman class on Saturday night, opening up the season here at Five Flag Speedway. But we're going to recap what happened last week with our episode and some of the events that didn't happen but did happen.
Yeah.
And the first one is at Anderson Speedway, and everybody was really anticipating 75 years at Anderson Speedway. And anybody that knows at Anderson in Illinois, that speedway is just like a high-banked, really, really fast bull ring. Was postponed because of weather. After 75 years in operation, they're going to kick off this weekend, and the gates will open at 2 o'clock with racing beginning at 4:15 to get in. The gates, the ARCA CRA Super Series headlines that event, and we'll recap that next week after this weekend when it kicked off on the 10th. That will be Sunday. Ryan Fleming. I don't think we've mentioned Ryan Fleming, but he's from Cedarville, Ohio, with his first ever CRA late model sportsman 50-lap feature at Shady Bull. And we did cover Shady Bull with episode or two ago. It was coming up. 11th annual CRA Cabin Fever Championship over Brad Coons and Chad Pendleton. Now, those guys put on a pretty good show, too, and there's a lot of names in there that we haven't mentioned that might venture down to our Panhandle area and Gulf Coast. We don't know, but we'll certainly keep an eye out for that. The Apple Cup 125 at Tri-City. Now, we did go and touch on that from Benton City, Washington. We talked about Preston Peltier. He'd been in the Gulf Coast and running a snowball derby. The Southern Super Series here in our area, he makes the trek. I think, if I've read correctly, he made the trek from Colorado out to Washington and ends up coming up with the win with that Apple Cup 125 at Tri-City Raceway in Benton City, Washington. Now, short dress guys, we're talking about racing all over the country, in our area, up in the Northeast, the Midwest, out in the West, and now we're going all the way out to Washington. So
it's all over the country.
It's all over the country, and it's every weekend, it seems like. And that was just one of the big events that happened this past weekend, along with the Pro Late Model race. It was at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway with Cole Williams coming around with the win.
Nashville has been there for a day or two, too.
Just a few. I think it's 100. I think I read
25th, was it?
118th.
118th continuous season at that racetrack. That's incredible.
Wow. Right. At 35 Pro Late Models took the green flag around that 5/8 mile oval. Cole Williams with William Hale and Jake Bowman. I mean, they put on one heck of a show. If you watch those replays, from your sources. We're not going to put that out there, but there are clips and highlights out there. If you do your research, you will find them. But man, they're 35 Pro Late Models at Nashville. That could have been a great race.
That's a lot.
That's
pretty cool. You get in traffic in a real big hurry there, and that's when it gets really interesting moving through the...
Yeah, but that is a historic place I'd love to race at. But congratulations to Cole and his win this weekend. And I have him on my Facebook page, and he drives for the 26 Rackley team, which also my boy Matt Benedetto drives for in the Camping World Truck Series. So that's pretty cool.
Willie Allen Racing?
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Willie Allen, racing war shocks.
Yeah.
Dude, he's pretty ingenious. I've seen some of his stuff that he's hidden in shocks like I race, and it's amazing how the heck he does it, but he does it.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much a wrap from what we've had on the last episode. But this past weekend, Anderson coming up this weekend too. Here locally at Five Flag Speedway on the 8th and 9th, we've got the Twin 100s, and we all know through the grapevine what's on the line for that. With the best average finish Friday and Saturday night will be the SRX series in June. And man,
I think that might create a little controversy.
Well, you also get an extra bonus. I think it's $5,000 if you do that. Also, the best average finish plus a special trophy. So I mean, it's going to be awesome to see who can do it. I mean, we saw last time the Friday night Twin 100s, Bubba Pollard came from 17th and beat Chandler Smith, and then had an accident in the second race. So that's our boy. That's who we're going to pull for. I'd love to see him in an SRX car. It would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I think Ted's got a list of some of the latest updates on the entries.
We got the early entries for the Pepperjack Kennels Twin Blizzards. Start at the top, Kyle Plott, Gavin Boschel, Eric White, Jackson Boone, Ryan Crane out of Panama City, Hunter Robbins, local guy, William Sawalich, Eden Prairie, Minnesota. That's a little bit of a hike. Of course, we got Chandler Smith and this guy named Bubba that I think we know just a little bit about.
Mr. Pollard?
Mr. Pollard.
Mr. Pollard, yes.
And Blaine Roca, Dustin Smith out of Mobile, Jake Garcia, Daniel Dye, Derek Thorne. He's making the haul from Bakersfield, California, but he doesn't have the longest trek. We'll get to that in one just a second. Jet Noland, Jake Finch, Michael Atwell, Stephen Nassy. You got to pull for him as well. Cole Butcher from Porters Lake, Nova Scotia, Canada. Still not the longest drag. We're getting there.
Wow.
Boris Yurkovic, Matt Craig, Dustin Dunn. Now, Tyler Tanner is coming from Auburn, Washington. Now, that is a heck of a ride to get over here for this race. And we've got Colin Allman, Michael Hind, Kyle Bryant, and Anthony Cataldi.
Well, coming from Washington to run a Twin 100 and a Super Late with a chance to run against who maybe some guy named Marco Andretti, Ryan Hunter-Ray,
Michael
Tony
Waltrip.
Stewart, Michael Waltrip.
Greg Biffle.
So why not load it up and let's go try and
Give it a
take
shot.
care of business.
Ryan Newman.
Ryan Newman, yes.
Dude, if he ever gets out front, ain't nobody gonna get around him. And that big wide super SRX car, he ain't gonna pass him. You're gonna have to wreck him.
It's
Paul
gonna
Tracy.
be awesome. This weekend, that Twin 100 is gonna be incredible, and
Awesome.
for the chance to come in, I have an inkling that we're gonna throw this out there early too because I want to get to it, but I'm gonna take Derek Thorne.
Well,
Bubba Pollard, baby.
I know. I
way.
love Bubba Pollard, and
Bubba
Bubba's
Pollard all the way.
he is our studio favorite. You know, we've got some memorabilia in here with his autograph. We've been following him for a long time, but you know, Derek just has the pedigree that we've talked about time and time again. 3 snowball derby poles in a row. He's won 2 snowflakes in a row, and the dude is coming from California. His hauler's already here. He's going to be flying in. And they had a little mishap on the way across the country. The war wagon, if you will, his toolbox in the hauler broke loose, and apparently it got smashed. So they had to make a quick repair with that, and they're going to be good to go this weekend. And I'm going to throw Derek Thorne, and we're going to get to a little bit of a top 4 and then our wild card pick here.
Yep.
We talked about
Very
before we
short.
went on. As far as what's going to happen or what we think might happen or what we would favor to happen this weekend with the Twin 100s in just a second. But I'm just going to, you can just count Derek Thorne's one of mine already.
oh, yeah.
Well, let me just put it to you this way. Bubba Pollard has won more races than anybody else in that field at Five Lakes Speedway. Okay. Do my Joe Biden creepy,
Joe Biden voice.
my Joe Biden creepy whisper voice. No, but I admit Derek Thorne's bad, and he's going to be tough. But I mean, he's going to have this. He's never been there when it's hot and slick. He's always been there when it's kind of cool and crispy. So the track's different. He's going to. I mean, I'm not saying he's not going to, because I'm going to tell you he's going to be one of the toughest ones in competition. But I mean, my God. You got Chandler Smith and just the swallow it guy.
Yeah, you got Nassy.
Nassy. I mean, you're
Matt
talking
Craig.
Matt Craig is nobody to sneeze at. I mean,
Nope.
and there's no telling who might just show up.
Jake Garcia, Jake Finch, both of them going to be there too. I mean, it's a who's who of short track drivers.
Short
I
track
mean,
super
with
late
an
model.
SRX series spot on the line, and you've got Twin 100s coming in. What, as a racer?
200 laps.
Yeah. What is your mentality coming in?
Root and gouge.
Do you build
balls to the wall
do you
for
build
100 laps.
Yeah. Do you build a car to come in and just kind of like get it done?
Nobody can afford to build a special car for the race. But what they'll do is, like, you know, they'll test and they'll come down and test and make things right and see where they go from there.
You'll massage it.
They'll massage it. But I mean, that's what I love about Bubba. He never puts on new tires when he practices. He runs on old tires. And he gets that thing where it works in the end, because every time I've ever seen him win a race at Five Lakes, he's never been out front and led the most laps.
Nope.
It's just like you hear the
Yeah.
you hear him coming. Like Jake Garcia one night was a straightaway ahead of him, and I'm on the backstretch in the back of my truck watching. I'm like looking at lap times. He's a 10th quicker. He's a 10th quicker. He's a 10th quicker. And it it just drove right by Jake, and then like ABC, you brother. So I mean, it's
like he flipped a switch or something.
Oh God! And he just drove off into the sunset, and they had a restart, and it was like bye. I just wish you could do that at the Derby, because I want to see my boy win a Derby at least once. Yep. Just once is all I'm asking, Lord. Just one Derby for Bubba Pollard.
Well, he's got the momentum, obviously. You know, with the Red Eye 50, he's got Speed Fest. He's finished second to Ty Majeski already. He's got 3 wins.
Ty Majeski twice.
Yeah, twice.
Once at the Rattler and once down South Florida. And at the Rattler, he started 13th. He didn't start up. I mean, imagine what would happen had he started up near the front.
Yep.
Majeski might have had a problem, because Majeski wasn't a mile ahead of him at the finish.
Right.
You know, you get a close restart, and Bubba might eat you up. You know, what I mean?
He's got the momentum going. And,
he's leading the Southern Super Series points, and that's what he wants, championship. I mean, he's got to look big picture too. I mean, yes, SRX, yes, Twin 100s, but hey, do I want to risk my point lead to win this championship? Mm-hmm. You know, for one race, you might throw away one of them 100s away if you have to use the old chrome hornage because he won that race up in Georgia, missing the left front fender. So, I mean, that tells you something. He might need to knock the fender off to get faster. Hang on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I mean, the SRX coming in June here in Pensacola on CBS on Saturday night with those, the big name drivers. And, if anybody's unfamiliar with SRX, it goes back to the stem of the IROC series back in the day when you'd have champions from all facets of racing, open wheel, NASCAR, Busch Series, then Cup Series, Truck Series, IndyCar, midgets, sprints, blah, blah, blah. And they would run 5 or 6 races a year for a champion, and it was the International Race of Champions, which is the IROC series, and the old Camaro Z28s. Ray Evernham and Tony Stewart have come up and developed the series. Their first series was last year. They ran, I think, 5 or 6 times, and Tony Stewart ended up winning the championship. But it's going to be nationally televised here locally in Pensacola on CBS. It was the first race for SRX, but they're going to have a spot open for the best average finish from Friday and Saturday night in the Blizzard 100. So this is just not just a big deal for Friday and Saturday night in the Supers. But it's a big deal to get a spot and to get a seat to race against some of the icons in racing.
And I don't think any of them have been on this track. You have that much experience, like say Bubba does. Take it. He's got a ton of experience on this track. And not in that car.
No, but those cars are big motor and a hard tire, so you got to finesse it and know how to drive it. And you don't get much practice, but like you said, with somebody like Bubba Pollard or Stephen Nassy or somebody like that gets in one of those cars, like, what was it, Kobe? That won that race up in
Doug Kobe
won that one up at Stafford.
Yep.
And he was a local guy, got in and said,
Luke Fenhouse.
Luke Fenhouse ran second.
Yeah, Luke Fenhouse wins the Slinger Nationals and gets a spot in there and ran him against these guys. So we're going to have the same situation here. It's really, really exciting, and it's huge for this area.
Oh, yeah. I think that was really cool that they included our old racetrack. And, a lot of those guys will get to be the first time they've ever been at this historic facility because she's been around a while.
Oh, yeah.
Love me some Five Flag Speedway. I hate to say it, but it's going to be a good show. Y'all get your plans to come out and watch and get your tickets for the SRX race because that's going to be a barn burner in its own.
Yes,
and the night of the XRX race, they're going to have the Outlaw stocks there, and I bet you that's going to be a dadgum good show also.
Oh, yeah.
Our Outlaws
we're going to have another
show.
one there.
About maybe Brooke Store and Cody Brusso, together coming to the start-finish line to win that race. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be. That would be fun. I don't think that'll happen, but, it'd be fun. I mean, the problem with that class I'm going to be running in it is it's money, and right now Jake Finch has got all the money. So, and, can't fault him for that, but, if you're running super lates, go run super lates and leave the Outlaws alone. Let somebody else drive that car. Put somebody else in it. Please, like me, let me have a trial in that car. Give me a chance to drive that thing.
Well, you guys have had a little time to look over the list of some of the entries, and let me just jump right into it. And I'm going to start with one of you two. You can take your list, maybe go from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5, or however you want to do it.
I think we should do 4.
4 and then a wild card.
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1, and then a wild card.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to go first with Bubba Pollard, Chandler Smith, Jake Garcia, and Stephen Nassy. And my wild card is going to be Boris Yurkovic, because I would love to see old Big Dog get to run that race, dude, especially after what he went through last year. That would be my cool. But those are my 5.
Yeah. A clarification here: can we double up on these? Because man, you just took the cream of the crop there.
Hey man, it's all fair.
It's all fair in love and war.
That's right.
Well, I'm at least going to have Derek Thorne in my crew. I don't think you plucked him quite yet.
No.
Oh yeah. I got to double up on Jake Finch and Jake Garcia, and I know Bubba's going to be in there. And the wild card. Ooh, that's a tough one right there. Oh, here's one that nobody's mentioned yet. Hunter Robbins. He'll be my wild card. Yeah.
That's a good choice, dude. He's fast at Pensacola. Yep. Of course, this is his home track now because he's living in Pensacola because his wife is Johanna Robbins, also used to be known as Johanna Long, the former snowball derby winner. She's got something that her husband starts talking trash. She can just reach over and grab that snowball trophy. Excuse me. What were you saying about winning a big race deer. Bam! Sits it on the kitchen table.
God dang.
What was that?
Take some of this embarrassment with you on your way home. When
Sorry.
you are home, so
Sorry, honey.
on the couch.
That would be funny, though. Well, you didn't win. I didn't win what? I believe I'm track champion.
Yeah.
Oh, 5 places. And look, snowball derby champion.
Yeah, well, let's take that trophy right there.
All right, Thomas, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Yes, I am going to go, obviously, with Derek Thorne, Bubba Pollard, Chandler Smith, Jake Finch, and my wild card is going to be Michael Hind from Hernando, Florida.
Not
We have
a
heard
bad one at all.
Yes,
I
this
didn't
is
even
true.
think about him. Yeah,
we have heard a lot, and we have
is
seen a
very
lot,
true.
and we have talked a lot
Yep.
about that
Yes.
Fireball 69 late model with Michael Hind from Hernando, Florida.
The best paint job.
Yeah, watch out for him.
good,
That
good
snuck
wild
up on
card.
us.
Yeah, that's yeah. I didn't think him or Michael Outwell would be a good choice, but I didn't think about Michael Hind. Yeah, he's been running really, really well lately. He might sneak in there and steal one. You know, just never know.
And it's average finish, too, so somebody could have a problem.
Yep.
Somebody could win one and then finish 10th, and then this guy finishes third twice, and bada bing.
Yeah, and he's with a stellar stable too, I believe.
He's with the Well, you know, Stephen Nassie's now back with Jet Motorsports. Just a little tidbit of information that I
This is
heard.
true.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that means Michael Hind is back with Jet Motorsports, because if anything Nassie learns, he's going to learn too. So, you know, basically Jet Motorsports has about 3 cars in the field.
Sharing information does not hurt.
No, but he went back with Jet, and that's, you know, Greg Janes is with Jet Motorsports. He's pretty knowledgeable guy from this area that's been with them for a while. He moved down there, so that's pretty cool. And you know, good luck to all of you. I would love to see. I want Bubba Pollard to win so bad it hurts, but it would be cool to see somebody, you know, that you wouldn't expect to win. Hell, we were just laughing about Kyle Bryant, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean-
you know, I mean, it could happen.
Some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield.
Yeah, I mean, you know, how many races you been to Daytona or watching back in the old early restrictor plate days, and half the field get wiped out and somebody ends up winning it, you know?
It's a surprise to everybody, including themselves.
Why do you remember the winner of Daytona this year?
Oh, yeah.
Austin Cindric.
Yep. But he was in, that ain't no real wide. He was in a car that won a bunch of super speedway races, and he's a great driver. Yeah. But I mean, how much time do you think he's had testing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because his dad is the director of competition for Penske.
Oh, well, that
The
helps.
president of competition for Penske. Let me rephrase that. So he's like Roger Penske's here, and he's like right here.
Well, through 7 races, and then, you know, as short track guys, we don't really get into that, you know, cup side of it and everything. But, you know, through 7 races, we had 7 different winners. And the disappointing one was this past weekend with Denny Hamlin winning. You know, everybody likes the excitement of all these new guys, the new strategic applications with the car, and Austin Cindric. There's been 7 different drivers of 7 races, which is good.
Well,
But we don't want to see the same guy win every week, the same 3 or 4 in the front pack, running all the time. It just makes it up a little bit.
It does, but I can't watch that new car. It's a cookie cutter, everything, you know. And then I laugh at what Kyle Busch said. He said, "You go buy your parts at Target." You know, I mean, it's funny because I mean, you really can. It's all a store-bought car. I mean, look how bad they hit Brad Keselowski with that penalty. Ooh. I mean, he can't. There's no way he's going to get back to the top 16 in points. He better win a race if he plans to make the playoffs. But the point being, NASCAR went, "We told you not to do this, and you did it." They had to pull the wrap off the car to find what he did.
Whoa.
Yeah, they actually pulled the whole wrap off the car and found some aerodynamic stuff. But like I said, we're not cut people; we're short track people.
Yeah.
And you know, we just want to see our short track guys do better because the racing's better. To hell with sitting in front of the TV. And just to bring up something real quick, Kenny Wallace was talking about this because, you know, he was Kenny Wallace. You ever follow him? He's funny. He's a short track guy now.
No.
And he was talking about how the Bristol Dirt Race didn't have as many people as it did last year. And he asked the question, and people were talking about how, you know, people were having problems with this and problems with money, and money's tight right now. He gets that. But people said they'd rather just sit at home and watch it on their devices, which is, you know, that's why things like Racing America, yeah, it's good and all, but it's keeping
There's
people
nothing
away
like
from the
being-
racetrack.
nothing
There's
like being
nothing like sitting in the grandstands, having a chunk of dirt in your beer, or sitting at Five Flag Speedway and get hit in the head with a chunk of rubber off a late model tire. I've been
Well,
hit there before.
one hit.
Ted's been hit in other places with parts off race cars, but we won't go there. But I mean, my point is, get your butt out to the racetrack. That's my point. It's short track. Don't sit there and watch it on your dadgum phone. Get your butt out there, drink a beer, hang out with your buddies.
And no place I'd rather be on a Friday or Saturday night is right there in turn 3, where all the rooting and gouging takes place coming to the finish line.
True. I don't know. I root guys going into one sometimes. As long as you get them out of the way enough that you can make it through 3 and 4 without them getting back to you. See,
Right.
that's the rule. I mean, they were talking about that Ross Chastain win, how he shoved the 48 car into J.J. Allmendinger. Well, Allmendinger moved him a few turns before that, so Ross did what he had to do. But they were talking about on Door Bumper Clear, they said, if you can move the person but get the hell away from them before they get back to you before the checkered, that's different. You don't move somebody with 5 to go. You move them with 1 to go.
Right.
So
Take that last shot.
take your last little boom, see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going to give a little shout out to a couple of the drivers that we have thrown names around too. It's Caden Honeycutt and Jake Garcia getting their debut in the Truck Series here in Martinsville. Coming up here shortly.
Cool.
I'd like to watch our graduates from this track,
Yes.
see how they do, like Daniel Hemrick and folks like that, moving on up.
Grin and finger.
Yep.
Hey, he started racing with us. But, that's why I love about Five Flags. Most of these guys have been and run the Snowball Derby. I mean, you look how many guys in Cup that have run the Snowball Derby. It's pretty huge.
Very.
I mean, you go down that list and go, he has. And how many winners of the Snowball Derby are in Cup?
Well, to show you just how attractive it is, Ryan Blaney is at least putting out some feelers to get back into late models too. So
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
Those young guys like that. Ryan Blaney's not a partier. He's not he's bored. I guarantee it's his problem. He's bored, and he's like, I want to find something to do on the weekends. I'm off. I want to get in a late model.
he's got to work it out with his team, but
Well, I'm sure they don't care. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not the way it used to be. I mean, Hendrick used to be against it, but now he said in an interview not too long ago that he's actually for guys running short track races and getting out there and mixing up with the fans and stuff like that. So
Penske doesn't feel that way, unfortunately. So
well,
let's see how that
Mike
works out.
Penske's always. I mean, Roger Penske, the captain, he's always been. This is how we're going to do it. This is how. I mean, dude, look what he's done with Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He bought the place, and now it's even better of a show place. Another bucket list. I want to go to the Indy 500.
Been there. It's fun. I'll tell you.
I've never been to the Indy 500, and it's something that I want to do.
I thought we surpassed that bucket a long time ago.
It's,
Well,
you know,
more
it's a
like dumpster. Yeah,
We're throwing all these places in the dumpster now.
It's an all a dumpster size. Yeah. So. My dumpster list. I'll just put it.
What about the news of Mike Garvey returning to his roots?
Oh yeah.
And,
Man, love Mike.
Money in the
Garvey,
Bank 150 coming up here not too long. Getting back in the late model. Oh, Mike Garvey, he's a name in itself.
Oh yeah.
He's going to clip our outlaw car, the one that's damaged. Mike Garvey's going to end up doing it. So that's pretty cool that he's getting behind the wheel. I mean, the dude's still got a ton of talent.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story. The first time I ever met him, and I've got a picture of me and Martin standing next to Mike Garvey, is when Freddie Query not wrecked him and Rich Bickle.
Not making friends there.
Garvey comes down. That's when he was racing ASA. Garvey had the Coors Light number 40. He pulls down pit road, and they fix the car, pull everything off of it. He comes up pit road. And he said, all he said on the radio is, I'm going to get that SOB. Went turn 3, and Query drove in there, and Garvey just went, whoop, blam, and Garvey bounces off the fence enough to knock the toe of the car to kill his day. And Bickle came out under that caution, and he's like, he said, did Garvey get Query? 10-4. Well, crap, that's what I came out here to do. All right, we're done. He pulled down pit road and parked the car. But I'll never forget talking to I still talk to Mike Garvey about that. And he laughs about that. He goes, I wasn't going to take it. I had enough. And anybody that's been around back then knew that Freddie Query was he's a great driver coach, but he was rough. He rough as a cob as a driver. So
Yeah, well, that's what was in store for last weekend, this weekend. A lot of exciting stuff coming up. We can't wait to get together next week and talk about this. Who came out with the better pick? And throw our wild card in there and see what happens.
Do we have a best average finish for our picks to see? Well, they're all the same.
And why don't we challenge our fans to go on our Facebook page and put their guys on there and see? We'll see who has the best average of our fans too. Guys, get out there and put it on the Short Track Guys podcast Facebook page. Put down who you think that is going to be the top 5 or the winner, and give us your top 5, including your wild card. Let's see who comes out on top.
Yeah, if we have some of those responses, which I'm sure we will, we can throw maybe a little 4-pack of Short Track Guys and can'tquitfishing.com koozies in a pack, and
there you go.
Give us your your mailing address, and we'll ship it to you.
There you go. That's cool. Yeah, we'll do that. The best fan that has the best average finish gets the koozies.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Works for me, brother.
Okay, well, game on.
All right. Let's do this.
Yeah. Jim and Ted, man, it's like we say every week, it's such a pleasure to get down and, talk to you guys about short track racing and everything, and throw these names out here. And we're having a really good time, and I hope everybody else listening is having an enjoyable time listening to what we're talking about, and hope you continue the support, because it is our motivation.
Yes.
And we look forward to getting together with you next Wednesday. Hopefully we'll have some hardware in here with that can'tquitfishing.com sportsman car.
Not going to jinx myself, but we're going for it. So.
Well, the vibe that I've got, is from what you've said, you're pretty comfortable. You like what the car's doing, and I think you'll be fine. And we'll see what happens. Just do what you do, bro.
Looking forward to getting behind the wheel again. Good gravy. Just. You get done with the Derby and you're just knocked out. You're like, screw this, I ain't touching that car. This year I didn't have that option. I had to get it in the shop and get it stripped out, built a new car. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to getting behind the wheel and putting a whoop on them boys.
Yep. Well, it sounds good. JBP.
07@hotmail.com.
That's correct. Get in touch with him. Ted_Baber at Yahoo.
Yep.
And
let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
All right, people. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you later.
All right.
Good night.